and honor his word. If God lays it upon your heart to witness to someone, don't hold back because of yourself. Get self out of the way. Jesus said, deny self and just follow me. Your part is to go and tell Moses. God says, I'll handle the rest. Sometimes the people who react most negatively and with most hostility go home and think about what you said and become the greatest converts. Think of the Apostle Paul, 5 minutes before his conversion. Excuse number 4, moving along. I get all tongue-tied when I get up in front of people. The Life Application Bible says it's easy to focus on our weaknesses, but if God asks us to do something, it may be that he will help us. Well, he says if God asks us to do something, he will help us to get the job done. One of the most unproductive offshoots, in my opinion anyway, some people will disagree with this, was the 70s and 80s influence that kind of went through the church talking about spiritual gifts. I need to find out what my spiritual gift is. So they took these spiritual gift inventories, and if they were asked to do something that didn't fit their particular profile, then they would decline. I'm sorry, but that's just not my gift. But what I find in the Bible is quite different. The overall emphasis in the Bible is not on our giftedness, but on God's all-sufficiency. And God says, you go, and I will help you speak. You're going to use your speech impediment as an excuse? I wish I could remember this fellow's name now. I've seen him preach 2 or 3 times. He has cerebral palsy. David what? David Ring. And I've heard him speak several times, and you do have to listen to him carefully. But what a profound message he preaches, and he touches your heart. And basically he said, I'm not going to let the world tell me I can't do anything. I'm going to go do what God has called me to do. And as he does, he's been used of God not only to encourage many other people with physical handicaps, but to lead many people to Christ. So Moses finally gets down to the real excuse, which is, I don't want to. I don't want to do this. Verse 13, please send someone else. And the Lord burned against Moses' anger. His anger burned against Moses. He said, what about Aaron, your brother? I know he can talk. So Aaron ends up going with Moses and spoke for him when God and Moses could have handled it just fine. God and Moses could have handled it just fine. But he ends up taking Aaron along with him, and there's going to be a few times when Moses wishes he hadn't made that choice to take Aaron along. Because Aaron, a couple of times, made some serious problems for Israel. Now in Exodus 4:29, Moses and Aaron come to the elders of Israel and told them of what God was about to do. And when he went to Israel, they were awestruck, and they bowed and they worshiped. It's wonderful when you know that God cares for you and intends to do something to deliver you. Now next week, Lord willing, we're going to come back and join the Israelites in Egypt, and we're going to come to deliverance phase 2. See, God has to first of all find a deliverer. Moses has come now. He's going to deliver the people. Then he's going to demonstrate his authority over Egypt and all the false gods. And by the time he gets done, the Egyptians that didn't want to let the people go are going to beg them to leave. And then he's going to take them out to a place where deliverance is absolutely impossible unless God does something miraculous. And God took them, he could have taken them a number of different ways, but he didn't just want to deliver the people of Israel. He wanted to what? Deliver the people of Israel and defeat their enemy. Both of these things are important. So he took them in a way that was very circuitous and took them to the place in the Red Sea where God's going to accomplish both of those purposes. Next time we're going to look at the amazing power of God over all the things that people worship in their life. Let's pray together.